Okay, we're at Bremont, and Bremont has been in my life since long way down. I remember when they just first started, Ewan and I wore their watches for the first time, and now they have this amazing factory and they make their own watches in the UK. They happen to have two bikes that I know quite well here, and I thought I'd come and see them and see the Bremont guys. Hey, how are you?
Hey man, good to see you. How are you doing?
Not too bad at all.
Welcome here.
Yeah, well, it's beautiful, the wing here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an amazing place. Yeah.
And I can't remember how long you guys have been here. Not a great deal of time.
No, this is 3 years.
Oh, is it only 3 years?
Yeah, so it's a brand new facility for us.
And so all watch manufacturing pretty much is
Everything's
done
assembled here, so designed here, serviced here, which makes us quite unique in the UK. So yeah, we're really proud to be bringing watchmaking back to Britain.
Back to Britain,
yeah.
and it's interesting, isn't it? Because over a long period of time, the sort of Switzerland and other countries kind of sort of inherited the watching from the UK.
Well, we had a very specific need, being an island nation, to find longitude. So I think there was a real foundation of timekeeping here, way back, and I sort of feel that we're on a mission to sort of bring it back again a little bit and do our bit to sort of regenerate watchmaking in the UK. There's some fantastic independent watchmakers in Britain, so it's nice to be doing it on an industrial scale here as well.
No, it's amazing. I remember Nick was telling me that a big bit of steel comes in and more or less lots of processes later.
And huge machines turning into something very delicate.
Yeah, and then it comes out as a watch.
Yeah, exactly.
It's quite fascinating, isn't it?
There's more to it than that, but it's sort of that.
I know, but you know, for us mere mortals, it's
a real cry. Have you ever tried it?
What, making a watch?
Yeah,
No.
we're going to have to. It's unbelievable how complicated and how intricate it is, and only certain people can do it. You have to have an incredibly steady hand. You have to great resolve, great patience. I tried it and was absolutely hopeless. So it's worth trying. It's quite incredible what these guys do.
And it's quite interesting to see these bikes here. I mean, obviously that was the bike that we did in the very first one, and then I think Nick and Giles got involved. I remember they walked into our warehouse where these bikes were, and they said, "Look, we make these watches," and they showed us these watches. But what they didn't tell us was that they were the only two watches that they had, and they made us out to be that they were.
You've got to admire them.
They had these kind of this big sort of production line going on, and they anyway. So they wanted us to test them because they thought the best test would be on a motorbike and all that vibration.
Nick and Giles, I think, spent 7 years testing watches. Yeah. So it was always this mission to build tool watches, sport watches that could go and do incredible things. So people doing what you guys were doing was the perfect testing ground, and putting them on this bike, doing that journey was sort of where we want Bremont watches to be. It's
funny. It's been a long time since I've seen this bike, and Ewan chose a zebra pattern. And I chose a leopard pattern because I thought, well, if we're out in the cuds in Africa, they're going to go for a zebra. That looks, they're going to go more likely for his bike than my bike. So
is it nice to be reunited with it, or was it a bit of a...
It is. It's very nice. It's you forget how big they are.
Yeah.
And how much hard work it was to go through overland with them. And these days you can have much smaller, much more reliable bikes now. Yeah.
And I didn't know whether you'd sit again and be like, oh my God, the last thing I want to do is get back on that thing. But
no, this one I rode in Goodwood, and I hadn't ridden it for a long time, and I got back on this, and the difference between the 1150 and this 1200 were extraordinary chalk and cheese. And they've now just made the 1300, which is another new one, and it makes the 1250 feel like that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, compared to the new one. I've ridden the new one quite a lot, but it's really, really nice. I rode it for about 3 weeks in Australia.
Oh, amazing.
Recently, but it was great. But wow, well, it's nice to see them. It's nice to be back here as well.
It's great to have you. It's great to have the bikes here as well.
Yeah, well, I'm really chuffed that you guys made the effort to bring them along, and they look very nice here. I think alongside this beautiful car as well.
Alongside this beautiful car,
Nick's about to go off through Mongolia, isn't he? He's doing the Mongol
Peking
Rally.
to Paris,
Peking
yeah.
to Paris.
So he's driving in an old Bentley blower. Yeah, which should be amazing, and that's going to be hard. We had the last Overland, the Defender here that did the Singapore to London journey last week. So now we've got your bikes that have done epic journeys. So hopefully it's a bit of a recurring theme for us, right?
Yeah, it's good. Well, I think have a quick scoot around the factory.
Thanks for that.
And thank you.
No worries.
Good to see you.